Joining us now, social media stars, President Trump's most loyal supporters, Diamond and Silk, joining us tonight, and great to have you back on the show with us. Diamond and Silk, good to see you. We're going to be going to the president just as soon as he arrives at Airport High School in West Columbia, South Carolina. It is great to see you both, and thanks so much for being here. I want to start out with just talking with Greg Jarrett earlier about what the president's frustration. I mean, I'm sitting here just getting a little more than anxious myself, listening to the nonsense that's built on our border that absolutely serves not the national interest, but the interest of people who are not even U.S. citizens. Diamond, what do you think?
You know, I find it appalling with the hypocrisy on the left, how Obama had those children wrapped in foil and in cages, and no one said anything about it. And President Trump is following the same law that Obama followed, and now everybody want to have a hissy fit. And now everybody is concerned about the children. Well, you know, we just visit the inner cities of Detroit. What about those children?
That's right.
Because we saw something so devastating that, okay, we need to start paying attention to what's going on here in America with the American people instead of illegal aliens.
That's right.
Yeah, as many as 20% of the kids in this country live below the poverty line, depending on whichever measurement you want. And when you say everybody's concerned, but we know that they're not concerned. The fact is these are Democratic left-wing activists, and many of them paid for by the Chamber of Commerce, the Business Roundtable, Wall Street, the Koch brothers, to have their hissy fit. It's all political theatrics, and it's not about those 2,000 kids. It's not about the truth, or they would have included the truth, which was the situation was so much worse under President Obama. And there's just, and the national left-wing media, my gosh, there was a time they were supposed to be truth seekers. They were supposed to be the ones holding us to an independent, objective standard of reality. They now are complicit with the left and with the establishment elites.
Yeah, we call them the very fake news. They want you to, they want to take and sensationalize a story. And want to feed it to the American people and think we're supposed to believe them. We don't believe them. We don't believe the liberal ideology and what they're trying to do. This is all a political ploy for them to win an election using children that they really don't care about to win an election. And it's so sad and it's sick.
That's right. You know,
when you think about what we've witnessed in this country over the last few weeks, whether it's Stephen Miller, some of the president's closest advisor, Kirstjen Nielsen, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, whether it's Sarah Sanders or Attorney General Pam Bondi down in Florida, being confronted by activists who are there to just make them as miserable and to be as aggravated as they can get them, seeking the opportunity to make them angry to the point that they react. Fortunately, none of them did. But it is a horrible thing that we're watching in this country because the left has become a bunch of they're thugs. This is mob nonsense.
Yeah. Lou, if I can just say that, you know, it's a difference between being confronted and being harassed.
Right.
You know, when I'm sitting there minding my own business and I'm eating food or I'm there with my family on my own private time, you don't get the right to come and confront me or harass me while I'm there with my family. That was wrong. And it's a time and there's a place for all things, and that was not the time, and that was not the place.
That's right. You're exactly right. Harass is the better word. It's the shame is that this would happen in a public place at all. These are people serving the President of the United States, serving the people of Florida. In the case of Pam Bondi, who in the world do these folks think they are to do this? It's gotten ugly. It is and something's going to happen. Human nature being what it is, something's going to happen, and then the left will be so thrilled with itself. This is just an ugly thing that we haven't seen in our lifetimes.
But remember now, It wasn't just that long ago where Black people was unable to sit at the lunch counter. All from left-leaning liberals in the Democratic Party. That's what they pushed that kind of foolishness back then.
That's right.
Now look at what you see today. Left-leaning liberals hackling won't allow someone to eat their food at a table.
That's right.
Oh, this is the same script but different cast, baby. That's happening. And see, they walking around, they don't have hoods on no more.
That's right.
And they're showing their true colors. The Democratic Party, I tell you, they are showing us. And look at what Maxine Waters said. She's telling them, oh, go ahead on and harass them like that's okay. This is what they want to do. They want to manipulate, intimidate in order to dominate. That's
right.
what they're trying to do.
And as we're talking, ladies, the president has has walked down the steps of Air Force One, getting ready to move on to the site of tonight's rally, again at the Airport High School in West Columbia, South Carolina. And as you can see from the skies around the airport, they're having some pretty interesting weather that was severe enough to hold up the president's aircraft. Air Force One just landing moments ago and had been expected to be there in time for the president to begin speaking at the top of this hour, and obviously working right now to catch up as the president waves to the welcoming crowd there in Columbia, and just about ready to head to the venue for his speech. We're going to I want to just very quickly, if we can, ask you what you think the solution is. What is the way to get forward on this and to introduce the idea to the left that they're going to have to be civil and respectful of the president, of elected officials? This is reaching a level now that is nasty, nasty stuff.
It's very nasty. We're going to have to learn how to agree to disagree in this country. And we're going to have to learn how to talk to each other instead of bickering and hackling each other and disrespecting each other. What the left is doing is very disrespectful. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for our government, for a congresswoman to tell people, Americans, to harass other Americans. That's almost like terrorism to me.
That's right.
You know? And see, people need to look at this here. They need to catch themselves. They need to calm themselves down. Let's talk about it so that we can solve these problems. But we know that the left is the party of obstructionists.
That's right.
They don't want to solve anything. They want to keep bickering.
And it's time to also get out of the stage of denial and come into acceptance. It is what it is. President Trump is the president of the United States, and we have to respect that. That's part of democracy. It's time to respect that and stop acting like fools.